he reveals himself to Andy at night. He ties him to the bed while the kid is sleeping. So both his legs and arms are tied to the bedposts, which is kind of weird.
It's very weird. And he puts a sock in his mouth.
Yeah, that's right. There's a sock that I thought looked like a muffin or like a cupcake or something.
It kind of does. It's a dainty little
and I'm
sock.
like, what the hell is going on?
This is Opening Kill. The following program contains mature content, explicit language, and detailed discussion of on-screen deaths. Spoilers are unavoidable. Listener discretion is advised.
And welcome back to Opening Kill. We've got a very special episode 68, not quite 69, even though it is 68 and not 69. I am dressed a little scandalously. I have some chest exposed because I don't have AC in my attic and I'm sweating my ass off. So that is why, just in case you notice me glistening a little bit, I just wanted to get that out of the way immediately. That yes, I am moist. We're going to have to deal with it. I was going to
say, you glistening is nothing new. You always glisten.
Well, my personality always glistens, not so much my physical body. But it is now both are going to do that, so it's going to be a really fun episode. My name's Michael, and my co-host, Brian, as always. How we feeling?
Pretty good. Not as hot as you are. I do have AC in the studio I'm in, so it's kind of been a blessing because it warmed up here in Southern Oregon today.
It sure did. It is, the sun is out, and when the sun's out, I like to retreat into the shade, but I don't have that ability at the moment, so.
Right.
We're thriving, though.
Coming up this week on this episode, Child's Play 2 from 1990. We have a special guest that's going to be joining us here in just a few minutes, someone who's been on with us before, he's a super fan of Opening Kill and an even bigger super fan of the whole Child's Play franchise. So we're going to bring JC on here in just a couple of minutes. But first, anything that you watched that's worth mentioning this past week?
I am so glad you asked because I did watch something cool. So last week, my scare preview was Monkey's Magical Merry-Go-Round.
Yes.
And I actually got in touch with the director and I got to see that movie. So huge shout out to Aiden Leary. I just want to make sure I get his name correct. Yes, Aiden Leary, super cool dude. He sent me a screener, and this movie is really, really cool. It is a fever dream. It revolves around this child show host. It's like an episode of Mr. Rogers, and you're watching the episode, but things unravel pretty quickly. His friends, which are like, there's Monkey, there's a Weasel, a Beaver, all sorts of fun, colorful characters. They're all trying to help him through this psychosis, but they take a sinister role in it. So it kind of turns that whole little children's show narrative on its head. And it made me feel very nostalgic, specifically for this show I used to watch. I grew up in a very Christian household, and there was a monkey puppet show called Banana Pudding, and it was giving me flashbacks to Banana Pudding. This one is a lot more demented, though. An incredible performance. I do want to get his name right because he is incredible in this role. Michael Giallo, I believe. It's Giallo. Hope I say that right. He plays this children's show host expertly, like good grief. And he has when he mentally breaks, like you really, really believe it. It's just a downward spiral for this guy. So I cannot recommend this one enough. So when it comes out, definitely keep your eyes peeled and check it out. I believe it hits streaming next month. So not too much longer, or actually this month now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Very cool. That sounds like fun. That's great that you got to see the screener.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
So I actually went back and did a rewatch of something. It's one of my favorites that I haven't actually watched in quite a while, but it is Silver Bullet, the werewolf movie based on the Stephen King book called Cycle of the Werewolf, directed by Dan Attias, stars Gary Busey, Everett McGill, Terry O'Quinn, and Corey Haim. About a small town where all these killings start to plague it, and Marty, who is a paraplegic boy, is convinced that the murders are the doings of a werewolf, and he is absolutely correct. And it's a fun movie. Of course, the book was better, the Stephen King book. It wasn't even like a full novel. It was like a novella, so it was kind of a shorter story. But yeah, pretty fun. I think that's an episode that is worthy of opening kill in the future. But if you haven't seen Silver Bullet, it's fun.
I haven't seen it. It's on my watch list, so I
Really?
need to.
Okay.
I know. It's one of those random one that's just slipped through the cracks somehow, but it is on my Letterboxd watch list. So I will get to it. It looks fun. I love werewolves, so
yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Well, we might as well jump right into this week's movie. It is Child's Play 2. And joining us, our good friend JC. JC, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me back. Love being back. Love the show.
Thank you so much. We had a lot of fun last season when you came on and did the very first Child's Play movie. So, yeah.
Hopefully we do the third next, huh?
The third one is
that's
possible because we do take on franchises and typically we go down the line. So we will let you know.
No, we're going to skip directly to Seed of Chucky.
The Seed. Oh, come on.
Skip everything in between.
Yeah.
Well, just the facts. This was directed by John Lafia, written by Don Mancini, released November 9th, 1990. It's about 84 minutes long with an R rating. Filmed in Chicago, Long Beach, South Pasadena, and L.A. Stars Alex Vincent, Jenny Agutter, Garrett Graham, Christine Elise, and Grace Zabriskie. And of course, we have to mention Brad, too, as the voice of Chucky in this, a legend in his own right. And I do want to mention Beth Grant, who plays the school teacher. She's literally appeared in more than 250 projects, movies and TV. What I know her, what pops to mind for me is she played Dwight Schrute's babysitter in 2 episodes of The Office. She babysat him as a kid, and she comes back as an adult in a couple of episodes, but she plays the cranky teacher in this movie. They made it for $13 million, made $35.7 million. Tagline, "Sorry, Jack, Chucky's back." And it did win a single award. So it won at the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films. It won the Saturn Award for Best DVD Blu-ray Collection for Chucky the Complete Collection. So not a cinematic, it's more of a hardware type of an award, but still pretty cool.
That's not bad. I really, really like this one. It's I might like it more than the original. Like, this one is so much fun. It's because the original, it's more of like a is he real kind of a thing. Like, they kind of play that up a little bit more. And in this one, you just get straight to the Chucky action. So I appreciate that about this entry.
It's difficult to top, the original with the sequel. Usually the sequels aren't as good. I think there are a few exceptions. I think Lethal Weapon, that series of movies, I thought the second one was better than the original one, but I tend to agree with you on this one. I think this one was better. I think they found their footing in this one a little bit better.
Yeah. It like walked that line where Chucky he did start his little wisecracking a little bit, but it wasn't as extreme as it gets down the line. He was still scary, but with that little bit of a comedic edge to him as well. But everything, it felt like it was just perfect in this entry. Like, it didn't go too far in either direction.
Right. What do you think about it, JC?
Hey, I will have to agree. I think this might be the best of the original. I'm a big fan of not the Cult of Chucky, but the Curse of Chucky. Is that the newer one that they did? That one might be my favorite if we're gonna take all the Chuckies into play here. But I do think this is a better sequel than the original, just by a slight margin. And I think it's just they got the puppeteering down a little bit better. Just some of the more technical aspects of this. I really enjoyed that, and I think they killed it. They slowed down his speaking pattern, and it matches up with the puppeteering a little bit better. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, they had Brad Dourif record ahead of time so that they could then match the puppet to his voice.
yes.
In the original, like he recorded after. So yeah, that was it, everything just feels like it clicked, especially with the animatronic.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, in a nutshell, it's about the kid Andy again. His mother has been admitted to a psych hospital, and now Andy is placed in foster care. And Chucky, determined to claim Andy's soul, is not far behind. So this actually starts 2 years after the original murders connected to Chucky, and the Play Pals Corporation is still dealing with the fallout. And they've never publicly they insist that nothing supernatural ever happened. And so to prove their good guy dolls are safe, executives order Chucky's burned remains recovered and rebuilt at the Play Pals factory. But yeah, something bad happens right out of the bat here.
Right. And this is so corporate America. Like this is such a corporate America solution. It's just everything's fine. There's not a single issue with our good guy dolls, and we're going to continue making them and just go along as if nothing really, happened.
Right.
Mhm.
So the moment they reconnect the doll's internal system, something goes horribly wrong. Surge of electricity tears through the assembly line, and we get this.
The opening kill.
So one of the workers basically gets electrocuted to death, and he goes flying through a glass, a big glass window. I give this a butcher knife. This was a fun kill.
It's definitely fun. I love a ridiculous electrocution scene, and this one it fits that role very well. And then if you add it, him getting flung, just yeeted through a window, and then we get some. I'm not gonna say they're good makeup effects of like a burn, but they're silly and fun, and so I'm gonna give it a butcher knife too, even though it's not. The makeup effects leave a little bit to be desired, but overall the kill is still a good one.
I think I'm gonna have to disagree with both you guys on this one, and I think I'm gonna have to go with a butter knife.
Ooh.
I do like that it really
Ooh.
reminisces on the past movie. It feels very in tone with the last movie. But I like you were saying with the special effects, I feel like it was just like they just like sprayed some ketchup on a guy and he was just laying there and his eyes were all open as it was just a little too goofy for me. It's definitely not the worst kill in this movie, but I don't think it's the best kill by a long shot. So I'm just gonna be a little
Yeah.
controversial here and just say butter knife on this one.
I mean, that's
Fair
fair.
enough.
The makeup effects, like he looks like me, where I'm just because I'm sweaty. It's like that's kind of what he looks like, just like a little bit of a red face. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, I think that's fair. I just enjoyed the goofiness of the electricity. I
It
think
was close. It was close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chucky comes back to life, and realizing the nightmare's not over, the company's CEO quietly orders the doll disposed of before anybody can discover the truth. But Chucky already has another plan.
Meanwhile, our adorable Andy Barkley from the last movie, he is now 8 years old, and he has lost everything because I actually appreciate how they ended up locking the mom up because she kind of like went along with the story, telling everyone,
Yeah.
no, it was a doll, like came alive, started murdering people, and they're like, well, you are not safe to be in the street. So they lock her up. Andy now has no family, and it's actually pretty incredibly sad. But I do like that they, for a doll movie, they're like, you know what, we're gonna have a smidge of realism right here.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's no way anyone would believe them.
Right. And he's eventually placed with foster parents Phil and Joanne Simpson. Phil is not excited about this at all. Even when he's sitting in the office, of this place where they're trying to adopt him out, he's really not having any of this. It takes a lot of convincing for him to get on board because he just sees Andy as this troubled kid with all these delusional ideas about the doll and all that.
I get it. Like, it's hard to not kind of be on his side. I know like he's not like a great guy in the movie, but realistically, I would have reservations about adopting Andy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, everyone around this kid died or went insane, so
Yeah,
don't
a
know
lot
if I
of
want to
bad
bring him in.
juju going on here. So they
Cute
get
kid though.
a cute kid,
Yes,
and
for
he's
sure.
polite enough. I mean, he's a good kid. He's not, not like an asshole.
Right.
So they get him home, and he starts exploring, and he meets Kyle, who's this rebellious, street smart teenager that the Simpsons are fostering. And Kyle, she's played by Christine Elise, and she kind of keeps people at arm's length, but she actually becomes his closest ally, because the parents are still, even the mom, I mean, she's embracing him, but she's a little standoffish. Dad, absolutely standoffish. So they don't click
And
right away, but it doesn't take long before she kind of takes him under her wing a little bit.
right, and you can tell she's like that rebellious bad kid because she smokes cigarettes in the house. And speaking of the house, can we talk about how fucking ugly this house is?
It
Holy
is the
shit.
please.
On the
ugliest house
outside,
I have ever seen.
yes. The outside, fine. It looks pretty normal. Inside, it is this god-awful pastel pink through the entirety of the house. It looks like an Easter egg. And it is so fucking ugly. I can't believe it. Like that's
Yeah, well, it's pink and blue.
like when I
right?
moved into
like
yeah,
these
pink and
colors right
blue.
here.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
it's just like your shirt.
Yeah,
The
just like
entirety
my
of the
shirt.
house
Very unwell.
is done in this. It is insane. When I remember watching the first one, I'm like, who approved that?
Yeah.
But
somebody did, because there it is.
somebody, yeah,
It's there.
somebody who gets paid a lot more than me. So whatever.
So Chucky tracks Andy down using a stolen car phone. He calls the foster center and gets the address, which this is a little bit ridiculous, but
That's insane.
you
He
know,
just says, I'm his Uncle Chuck.
yeah,
And they're like, oh, well, then here you go. This is where he's at.
yeah, we'll give you the address. We'll give you all this private information so you can go find
Yeah,
him.
no problem.
Yeah. And he forces a Play Pal's employee to drive him there. Now, this is this guy's car, and he'd gotten into the car, snuck into the car, and the guy got a call from his girlfriend or whoever else saying, you remember the vodka, right? Which he didn't. He was supposed to pick up some vodka. So he stops off at this liquor store, goes inside, and that's when Chucky makes the phone call. And this is so 1990 because the liquor store does not accept credit cards whatsoever. It's cash only. Well, the guy doesn't carry cash. So now he's pissed off because he doesn't have any cash. So he, the guy, the store employee takes the bottle back. It's in a bag already, takes it back, and he walks back out to his car.
The other thing that makes it so 1990s is just the phone in the car. Like that, that whole part.
Yeah.
Like that's so, late 80s, early 90s coded. It's insane.
Absolutely.
And my favorite thing about this scene is when so Chucky takes him hostage. And the guy is pretty nonchalant about it all. Chucky's got a gun to his head. He's being like, "You're gonna drive me." He's just like, "Oh, okay, okay, yeah,
Right.
that's fine." I'd be freaking out. One, because there's a gun to my head, and then two, because a doll is doing it.
Right.
He's so
this
calm about it.
You can see that.
So calm about it.
Yeah, you can see why he's an executive. He's calm, cool, collect. Doesn't crack under pressure.
Nope, not at all.
No,
not at
not
all.
even a bit.
But what does he get for it? How about a plastic bag over the head?
He does get that, and he ends up, how you say, dying.
Yeah.
That is one word for it. That is true, Michael.
What a great way to put that, Michael.
I'm a storyteller. What can I say? I have a way of words.
I will say I do love the squirt gun part. when the toy
he's
gun
holding
is
him
a
hostage
squirt gun,
with a squirt gun,
and even he he's like, I know this is funny. Like, it's so good.
So this is kind of funny. Chucky gets to the house and he finds another good guy doll, which is his name is Tommy, and it starts talking to him as the good guy dolls do. So he basically takes this glass figurine that the mother had already told Andy, don't touch it, don't break it, because this was handed down from my grandmother to my mother to me. So don't touch it. Like, all right. So Chucky takes it and beats the shit out of this good guy doll, smashes his face, and ends up breaking the glass piece into a million pieces.
You know, a fun piece of trivia about that. You know, his name's Tommy. I heard that they named him after Tom Holland.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's
Interesting.
I heard that's where the Tommy came from, not just some random name.
Okay.
Mr. Tom Holland himself.
Okay. Wow.
And let's clarify, we're not talking about
No.
Tom Holland, who's married to
No.
Zendaya. Yeah, we're not talking about
No.
that one. There's
No,
a
no,
different
no.
one.
No, the actor / director, creator of my favorite horror film, Fright Night, Tom Holland.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
I do find
What?
it interesting that this like priceless heirloom is kept at like child height in their home, especially
Unless
since
they
they're
get
foster
leveled.
parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, because like he just the kid just walks right up to it. I'm like,
Yeah.
that should be higher, but
Oh, you would think.
And behind something,
You would
in a
definitely
cabinet,
think.
maybe anything.
right, yeah, it's the '90s. There's glass cabinets.
Oh, they love those wooden glass cabinets. Come on.
Oh yeah,
Well, Andy and Kyle start to bond, and Chucky's just waiting for the right moment to strike. So he reveals himself to Andy at night. He ties him to the bed while the kid is sleeping. So both his legs and arms are tied to the bedposts, which is kind of weird.
it's
And-
very weird. And he puts a
mean-
sock in his
Mhm.
mouth.
Yeah, oh, that's right. There's a sock that I thought looked like a muffin or like a cupcake or something.
It kind of does. It's a
It
dainty
did,
little
and I'm like,
sock.
what the hell is going on, right? But so
Yeah.
yeah.
And then troubled teen kind of interrupts it, and she starts to untie him. And then when she gets like one arm free, I love that the first thing he does is fucking like sock Chucky off of him. But
Yeah.
then the foster parents walk in, and I would be way more concerned about what's going on than they seem to be. They're
Yep.
kind of
Yeah.
just like,
For sure.
oh, like, that's like I'd be like, oh,
Also,
okay.
why did she climb through his
Lots of
window?
questions. Right. That
Well,
is
but
that
Yeah,
you know,
because that's
she,
how-
at
I
this
didn't even
point, she
think
should
about
know
that.
her window.
That is weird as fuck.
For being there a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how she gets
Especially-
into the bedroom, and she interrupts everything because she's been out when she's not supposed to be, and she sneaks back in
Mhm.
through his window, which I found kind of weird too.
Yeah. For sure.
I didn't even think about that until right now. I'm like, yeah, you're right. She does go through his window. That's weird.
Right. But yeah, you know, Michael, you talk about the parents walking in and all they see is this little boy tied up with this teenage girl standing over him. I mean,
Mm.
this looks just not great.
This looks like we're calling the social worker right now.
Yes. And you're going
Yeah.
to jail.
Yeah.
God. Yep. So anyway, Chucky.
Of course,
pretends to
Andy
be in-
ruins it by saying it was the doll, though.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is
Yeah.
what.
So now shit's gonna
Yep.
get bad because they're like, fuck this again. Like he's
Yep.
seeing the doll. Like, ugh.
And Chucky pretends to be an ordinary doll again. Of course, nobody believes Andy's warnings, and
Would you?
they blame everything on Kyle and Andy. So they're both in trouble. And they also end up finding that broken glass statue, and neither one of the kids did it. So they're not copying
Right.
to it. So they both get grounded and get punished for this, even though it obviously was not their fault. But yeah.
Can you imagine being Andy and getting tied up, had a sock in your mouth, like the foster parents walk in on that, and you get grounded?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say in this movie though, Andy is so much he has so much more, like he stands up for himself. So much more in this movie. Like he's got a little
Right,
attitude too,
yeah.
and I kind of love it. Like he's so tired of this fucking doll because he keeps seeing it. Like they have that Tommy doll. First of all, how do you not take that out of the house? Like, you know, this kid is completely traumatized by this good guy doll, and you're just like, Oh, it's fine. You just, I won't make sure we don't have a good guy. Like, how do you not know you have a good guy doll in the house at that point? It's like the one thing this
Exactly.
kid can't have in the house, and you're like, oops, I forgot. My bad. It's ridiculous.
I'm so sorry,
Forgot about
honey.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they need
Phil-
to do more, like, better screening for foster parents in this
Well,
town.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking too. I mean, when I saw that scene was kind of like, what the hell? Come on. You should know
The one
better,
thing.
but
The
whatever.
one thing.
So foster father Phil, who isn't a big fan of this whole situation anyway, takes Chucky and tosses him down the basement steps, thinking, all right, he's done. That's it. And there will be no more doll problems. Except Chucky's bleeding from his nose.
Yeah.
And realizes that the longer he remains trapped in the doll body, the more human he becomes. So his time is running out. So he's got to do something here pretty quick. Well, the next day, Chucky secretly follows Andy to school, and nothing good can come from this. He vandalizes Andy's homework, and he writes, "Fuck you, bitch," across it, which lands on the teacher's desk. And she sees it and immediately throws him into detention. So this kid is just getting knocked around by everybody.
Yeah.
I know. Every adult in his life sucks.
The most unreal part about this movie is that the back seat of that bus was completely open. I don't know about you guys when you guys were growing up, but the back seat of the bus was for the cool kids. And both of the back seats were completely open in that bus. And for me, I was like, that was the first thing that I clocked in my head. I was like, there's no way that this kid would be able to go sit in the back of the bus. Like, cause that was like the cool seat to sit in. But
right.
Yeah, that was
That's
where
just me.
the high schoolers on our bus sat in the back.
Yes.
And when I rode the bus, I was in elementary school, and so I was not allowed back there. The queen of the bus, her name was Courtney. She smoked cigarettes as well. She was very cool. But that was her spot. So you're right. That is very
true. For me, I'm a little bit younger, so we did have vapes at that point. The nice blue electric cigarettes. God. Remember, that's the first time I saw one, and I was like, "That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life." Like, you're smoking, but it's digital smoking. Insane.
And then poor Mrs. Kettlewell, the teacher, gets murdered, and kind of a new one here for Opening Kill. She is murdered with an air pump and a yardstick.
That is right. She gets the air pump straight to the chest cavity, followed by a brutal beating with the yardstick. But before the beating, we do get this sick-ass shot of animatronic Chucky walking out of the closet. A shot that was so difficult, it put them very behind schedule, and they ended up having to cut a key character moment for both the foster parents, and their actor and actress was not happy about that. They were very cross and bitter about it. But I think it's worth it for this cool shot of him literally walking. And then he proceeds to beat the teacher, and it has this cool little like camera trick where every time the yardstick lands, it zooms out further until it's just like looking at the building. It's done so
across
well.
the street. Yeah.
Yeah. You can still see it in the window. I don't know why. You can still see it.
Yeah. You can still see the little thing. Like, it's pretty cool. It's a weird little style choice, but I appreciated it.
Yeah, I heard from one of the writers that this was his original plan for the movie was that Chucky was supposed to like take on all the people that were wronging Andy originally in the first movie, and so he kind of moved some of these ideas to the second movie, and so like a teacher being mean to you, maybe like a schoolyard bully, like so a lot of these ideas I heard they got transferred over into this. And it was the same thing with I don't want to spoil too much for the ending scene, but I guess his original idea was to bring it back to the factory like they do in the end.
Yep. Yep, that was originally supposed to be in the first one. So he really was. Don Mancini is really good at recycling these really good ideas that just didn't necessarily fit in the first one. And I think this movie's better for it.
It is absolutely 100%.
So with all this extracurricular activity going on, foster father Phil decides that Andy may need to be sent back to the foster center. This might be just a little bit too much for them to handle in this house. Andy ends up sneaking into the basement that night. He's armed with an electric carving knife. This would be suspicious. He's hoping
Right.
to finally stop Chucky himself. He actually opens up the dryer thinking he's in there, and he starts like cutting up the clothes that are in there. And I'm like, oh God, this can't end well for him. And, instead Chucky overpowers him. Andy manages to slash Chucky across the face, more blood, more living tissue. And then Phil pops the door open at the top of the basement, and all he sees is Andy standing there with this electric carving knife going, oh, shit, put down the knife, kid.
Right. That's not a scene you want to stumble upon when you're a parent.
No.
No.
And then, like, yeah, clearly, especially with this kid who has this past, you're like, fuck. He's got a knife, not just a knife, an electric one.
Right.
And he doesn't, and Phil doesn't see Chucky underneath the stairs. He ends up like tripping him, and Phil then is hanging upside down from like the banister. And this is one of my favorite Chucky lines. He just looks at him and goes like, how's it hanging, Phil?
Yeah. I will say, when Chucky, or when they have that first person scene, because they love their first person point of views in the Chucky franchise. When you see the camera going up and he's like starting to look through all the drawers, you're like, is this Chucky? Like, is Chucky looking for a weapon? And then you see the hand come out and you're like, wait, no, that's Andy. And then they give you like the little reversal and you're like, oh, they gave you a little switch around there, and it's actually Andy looking through, and you get Andy's point of view. Right. I thought that was really clever.
Yeah, that was fun. They gave us the old switcheroo.
Love it.
Yes, yeah. Then he drops him, and he breaks his neck and dies. Kill number 4. Poor Phil, but not really, because he was never on board with this anyway. So he was kind of an a-hole.
Hey, now he doesn't have to deal with Andy, so
no, he doesn't.
He wants. Definitely does not.
Now, the foster mother, Joanne, she refuses to believe Andy's story about the doll, and she's blaming him for Phil's death. And so she sends him back to the foster center. Now Chucky has free reign of the house, and Joanne ends up becoming his next victim. Kyle goes outside. She's on the swing. She keeps dragging her feet on the ground as the swing, goes back and forth. And she sees the shoe of the doll, Tommy, and gets off the swing, pulls him out. And it's this doll that's had his face bashed in and everything else. And now it clicks with her that, oh, yeah, Andy was telling the truth. There's something really weird going on here. Yeah, well, Joanne's dead because he slit her throat and everything and tied her hands behind her back in the chair, just like, he did the driver earlier before he killed him with the plastic bag. And so Kyle runs into the room, sees her, and it's like, uh-oh, here we go. And Chucky's waiting for her.
He sure is. And then he ends up getting her at knife point and then forces Kyle to drive him to the foster center so he can finish what he started with Andy. And I do have to say, I do feel for Chucky because it's got to be frustrating to always have to hunt people down to drive you around.
Unlike Leprechaun that we did earlier, where the little leprechaun got into one of those toy cars and is screaming down the highway, Chucky doesn't have that at his disposal.
Right. Like, I want to see Chucky in a wheelchair going 75 down the highway like Leprechaun.
Yeah. Chucky forces Kyle to drive him to the foster center so he can finish what he started. And Grace Poole, who is the manager for the place, she gets stabbed in the chest, and that's kill number 6. And then Chucky abducts Andy.
Right. And I can't say I'm too sad about Grace Poole dying because she did just, kind of dox Andy to Chucky in the first place. So.
Right.
It's so fair. So fair.
Yeah. You get to die. That's fair is fair.
And Chucky set off the fire alarm in the building. And so now all the police and the fire department, they're all showing up. The kids are being evacuated. There's all kinds of chaos going on in the street.
Yeah, Chucky forces Andy into the back of this like newspaper It's actually the Chicago Sun-Times, so that's a real
It is.
newspaper.
It is.
And so they're in the back of this newspaper van, and this guy is fucking hauling ass. Like, he is driving
Yes.
fast.
He is.
And Kyle
He really
is in pursuit of them.
Yeah.
She's keeping up, and it's pretty impressive because it's basically driving like it's the Fast and the Furious. But Chucky then starts to do he completes the voodoo ritual, actually. Like, we're used to him always getting interrupted with it, but he's
Right.
able to actually finish it, but nothing happens.
Yeah, because by this time they are back at the Play Pals factory.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
yeah, that's where this takes place. And you see the storm clouds coming over the building and everything else, but you're right. Then they just go away and he's sitting there going, "Oh shit, it's too
Yeah,
late."
because he's been in the doll body too long and he's permanently trapped.
I
so-
was always curious about that. Was from the original movie to now, or did it reset like his time period where he can transfer his soul? You know, because then every
Yeah,
time he does die, would it also reset his clock for being able to transfer? They don't really like touch on it because that was what, 2 years you said that from the first to the second movie.
Right,
I feel
2
like that
years.
would be more than enough time for it to be like, oh, you're done, you're cut off, you can't do it. You should have had no shot
Right.
at it
But
in
he
general,
was-
in my eyes, if that's how it works.
Technically, though, he was dead and deactivated and didn't come back to life until the beginning of this movie when the electricity went through him. So
yeah,
I don't
that's the other
know.
thing. So does that play into it?
Do we see? Yeah, that's
there's
just
a
it.
lot of questions here that they don't really answer. I don't think they ever do.
I don't think they do, and I think they're kind of just like just go with it.
Right.
Like,
I'm always going with it.
Yeah, I think with this franchise, it's a very much don't think about it too much because it
Yeah.
will unravel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And so Chucky, for the first time, panics and he snaps. And so what follows is one of the most iconic finales in horror sequel history. Andy and Kyle are racing through this massive toy factory, and Chucky is hunting them through conveyor belts, machinery, and assembly lines, and his body gets mangled. I mean, all the things that happen to him are pretty cool.
There's the whole set. First off, is so cool inside this factory, and they did build it.
Yes.
They built it from scratch. It is a set, and it is elaborate. It's beautiful. One of my favorite things is they have this maze, this just with walls of Chucky dolls just everywhere. And one of my favorite scenes. It's so fucking small, but it makes me laugh so hard every time. A couple boxes fall on Chucky, and he like looks up and goes like, "Oh shit!"
Yes.
But the force that they hit him with is so
Yes.
funny. I think there's like bricks in the boxes because
Yeah.
he gets
Oh, yeah.
clobbered by them.
Well, it's funny because I don't
so
know if
funny.
you guys remember the first episode we did, but there's a lot of Shining references. With him busted
Mhm.
through the door with his knife. If you watch that scene back where they're going through that maze of boxes, that's just the hedge maze from Shining.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like it is
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
so similar. So like you could tell that this movie is just
Right.
so inspired by The Shining. It's fantastic.
It is. It's so cool. It just the maze, with that throwback to the Shining. Everything about this factory scene is chef's kiss. But the box is falling on him. I don't know what it is about it. It literally
It's so
makes me
funny.
howl with laughter every time I see it.
One of the cool things that happens, his hand gets crushed in this gate, and in order to get it out, he's forced to rip it off his arm and
Oh.
replace it with a
Mm.
knife he just jabs into where the arm socket is, and which was
Yeah.
painful to watch. Now he's like
Yeah.
normal hand on the left side, and his right hand is now this knife.
Yeah, it's like
And
that
so
James Franco movie meets Evil Dead.
Yeah.
The 127
Yeah,
hours
very
one.
Evil
where he
Dead.
rips his hand off.
Very Evil Dead.
Yeah. It's Ash with the chainsaw, and I love how
Yeah.
the insides of his hands. It's like it's icky. Like it feels like it's very gory when he rips it off. Like there's blood,
Yeah.
there's meat
Mhm.
in there that when he jabs that knife into it, you're just like, oh, fuck.
Oof.
Very
Yeah.
meaty. Very
So
meaty.
with all the chaos that's going on in this toy factory, part of the equipment starts to break down. One of the pieces of equipment breaks down. So an alarm goes off, alerting the one technician. There's only one person that we see working in this entire factory because everything's automated. So an alarm goes off in the control room where he's at. He looks at his monitor and goes, okay, got to go out there and figure out what's going on. So he goes out to repair this machine, and it's the machine that plugs the eyes into the good guy doll heads, right? And so he's underneath it, no safety equipment on. This is like a bad deal. This is like OSHA violation, left and right here. And so the equipment comes back to life. He gets slashed, and then this thing like plugs him in the eyes where it was going to put eyes and gouges his eyes out. And that is kill number 7. So Chucky's body is literally torn apart piece by piece, but the willpower this evil doll has is pretty incredible because he just keeps it coming. He keeps coming after him. He's still kind of laughing, and he's threatening them and chasing them and everything. So he's not dead yet.
Even when he's kind of like that knight in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, who's like loses his arms and it's just
only a flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound. That's Chucky in this scene because at one point he loses his legs and he's just like scooting after him.
Yep.
Like,
the little wheelie.
I'll still fucking kill you guys.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Right. So eventually Andy opens an emergency valve covering Chucky in molten plastic, and seems like this time, it's going to end him for good. But nope. Chucky rises again. He's half melted, barely recognizable, and now even more terrifying. He just looks so freaky. And he attacks again.
Yeah, it keeps him coming. And just molten plastic, that's not enough to keep Chucky down.
No.
But what is enough to keep Chucky down is an air hose, because that's what he gets. And I love this visual. So this gets this air hose in his mouth, and he just blows up like a balloon. Yep. And like for a brief moment when he's super blown up, he looks like a garbage pail kid, kind of.
Yes,
he does.
And then just like a garbage pail kid, and then that doesn't last long because his head just fucking explodes, and it looks
what
amazing.
is that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where that happens? Is it Total Recall? Or
it is.
Where he's in space and they blow up his head and the dude's head just gets all big.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking when this happens.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Random thing, but it totally is connected. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, let's talk about Kindergarten Cop for 2 seconds, because in the scene where Andy is sent back to the orphanage, he is wearing the exact same outfit as the kid who talks about vaginas in Kindergarten Cop.
Oh my God.
Look at his side by side. He's wearing the exact same outfit.
That's
so
funny.
Yeah, that just jogged my memory about that. So thank you for bringing up Total Recall.
The end of this movie feels so much like Terminator. When he loses his hand, it's almost the same way it happened in Terminator. There's a lot of Arnold in this movie. Very sneakily,
right? There is.
So he blows up, and body parts and pieces just go flying everywhere. Andy and Kyle walk out of the ruined factory together. They have no family to go to, no home, no idea what happens next. But for the moment, Chucky is dead again. So, but we all know, because there's more movies, not the final thing here. Yeah.
He'll rise again and again.
He will. Final kill count was 7, a decent number. Considering that last week we had to count over 140, 150 kills in Sinners. So this was a fairly simple movie to keep track of as we were watching it, getting ready for this. My favorite character by far was Kyle.
Yeah, that's it. She's just so sweet with Andy and how she takes him under her wing. I think I'll go with Kyle as well. Someone has to love poor Andy, and damn it, she's gonna do it.
I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna go with the news delivery man. That man, he cracked me up
Oh,
so hard. He's like, "Oh,
that's
you're a
funny.
crazy bitch." when he like she cuts him off, and he's just this man's just trying to do his job,
Yeah,
and that shit. I was like, that is so funny to
yeah,
me. So that man, he's my favorite. He doesn't have a
that's
name.
funny.
I try to find his name. He doesn't have one, but that guy, he's my favorite.
Uh,
Hell yeah.
okay, good enough. Favorite kill for me, it was the one right before Chucky, the technician who got his eyes gouged out in that machine. That was a pretty gnarly kill.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, that's my favorite too. I just love how those fucking eyes look. It is so
Yes.
funny.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to try to be cheeky. I'm also going to agree that is the best kill in the movie. It's hard to deny.
yeah, yeah. Nice. Favorite scene for me was that whole sequence of scenes here in the factory at the very end. That whole chase sequence. For me, that was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, mine is, I'll narrow it down, but yeah, I mean the factory scene is just one of the best third acts in horror. Like, it is so fucking good. I love it so much. But I'm just gonna do the one that I already talked about, when the fucking boxes fall on Chucky. That's my favorite scene in this movie. Like, there's no reason for them to hit them as hard as he did. And
That was good.
yeah,
Yeah,
That was
I'm
good,
also
yeah.
going to have to agree again with that third act. I'll say when he has to rip his own hand off, just because that it was so visceral. I remember that from when I was a kid. Like that
yeah.
stuck with me. Like the one thing I remembered about that movie, it was that part. I'm gonna stick with that.
How screwed are we? Well, I think I would make it out of this movie because I can at least kick a doll's ass. So I think I'd get out okay.
Yeah, I have a hard time feeling like Chucky could get me. Like, I know he's a serial killer or whatever, and he kills a lot of people, but I have a hard time feeling like I would succumb to Chucky and his doll strength. I just don't see it. It might sound cocky, but I feeling like I'm pretty good.
Yeah, for me, I definitely have seen enough doll movies where I'm very wary of a doll. So if anyone says anything like, "Oh, this doll's gonna kill," I'm already on edge. I'm not taking any chances on that. So I would also like
Yeah,
to think that
right. Right.
I would have the upper hand in that situation because that's how he gets it. Is he makes you underestimate him.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So we do have a final girl and a final boy. I'm going to give Kyle, I'm probably going to give Kyle an 8 because just she's badass. And I will give Andy a 9 just because of all the shit he's had to go through over the last 2 years of his life. So that's how I'll break this down.
That's fair, because yeah, he literally loses his mom, he
Mhm.
loses everything, and he still rises above it and is able to be victorious yet again. So I'm gonna give Andy, I'll give him a 9, and I'll give Kyle a 8. I think, yeah.
Okay. JC, what say you?
I'm gonna have to give Kyle a 7.5 just because of the whole scene where
Okay.
she flings him out the window and then she just keeps trying to run him over rather than just go and get Andy. Like she could have. I mean, I know we all know how fast Chucky is. He is the Flash. We know this. But after she flung him out of the window, she could have just drove and got him, and a lot of this could have been, avoided. So I'm gonna have to give her a couple less
Damn it, my
points.
fucking internet.
And then for Andy, I think
Okay.
I'm gonna have to give him 8.5 for him sliding down those poles in the factory because he was there and
Sure.
he when he was sliding down that little chute, he looked so unamused at that whole situation.
Oh, he did. Yeah, I would too. Totally. Slasher survival tip. If a doll starts talking when nobody else is around, don't waste time trying to convince adults you're telling the truth. At that point, grab a baseball bat, gasoline, and maybe a priest because your childhood is officially over.
I like the priest part.
Yeah, the priest part
You
is
never know.
You never
chef's
know.
kiss.
Yeah. Scare preview coming up here in a moment. First of all, shout out to Courtney from Jaunty Hunts. And by the way, before we talk about her some more here, on the day we are recording this, happy birthday, Courtney. I hope you had a great day today.
Ooh,
So
I didn't know that.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Courtney.
So if you are not familiar with Courtney's podcast, John T. Haunts, you need to check this out. She kept a secret for 30 years that she can see ghosts, and now she is telling the world about it through just some incredible stories, some amazing guests, and more.
That's right. If you love ghosts, ghouls, everything that goes bump in the night, John T. Haunts has something for you. And she has moved to the West Coast. So now she's going to have some West Coast haunting stuff to talk about as well. So lots of cool stuff. Season 3 just started. She just dropped the first episode. So tune in everywhere you get your favorite podcasts.
The Scare Preview.
All right, movies that are coming out here very soon. Now, this one has no official title, no official cast, no official plot summary, but it's been in the news for a very good reason. This is the Blair Witch Project reboot. This is a Blumhouse production, and it's going to be directed by Dylan Clark, who's done a ton of short films, but no feature-length films yet. He's also writing the screenplay alongside Chris Thomas Devlin, who was a writer on Cobweb, and also 2022's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Again, not a lot being revealed yet. The project is actively heading to the Cannes market to secure sales, with filming likely to begin in the fall. Also of note, original Blair Witch stars Joshua Leonard and Michael C. Williams, who have been frustrated for years because of their lack of involvement in previous reincarnations of the other films in this franchise, have signed on as executive producers. No word on whether Heather Donahue, who now goes by Ray Hance, is involved. I would say she's probably not, since she pretty much walked away from Hollywood years and years and years ago and never reconciled with the studio like, the two guys just recently did. And I know, Michael, when we did the original Blair Witch in season 1, we talked about all of her past trauma on the original film. And so I can't imagine she would want anything to do with this reboot. But anyway, not much else to go on. No release date certainly yet or anything else. But, I love the original. The other ones were okay. The second one that came out, Book of Shadows, was terrible. But I did, somewhat enjoy the other two that came out. So this one, I'm intrigued to see what they do with it, how they can reinvent that. I mean, this was kind of like, wasn't the very first found footage film ever released, but it was certainly the one that made the most impact and really opened the floodgates for other filmmakers to come through and put this genre, kind of in front of everybody. So yeah. Should be interesting.
Nice. Yeah, I've got another one in a franchise coming up, Evil Dead Burn. This one, the trailer just dropped. It looks fucking insane. I am pumped. It's coming out July 10th. It still has like Sam Raimi's attached as a producer, so we're still gonna get that aspect. It looks very much in vein with like the Evil Dead Rise and then the 2012 reboot, I believe. So I am stoked. This one looks great. The trailer just came out, so check that out. And yeah, July 10th.
Bruce Campbell just did another movie that was filmed around the area, and they did a premiere at the Holly Theater in Medford for it a few weeks ago. So is he involved in this one at all as a producer, or
not that I immediately saw, but I think he is producing.
I'm sure he's got his
I'd be
hand
surprised if he's not involved in some way.
For sure. JC, anything exciting for you on the horizon as far as new movies?
Is there a new Chucky movie coming out? Because that's the only movies I watch. I only watch Child's Play.
Yes.
Oh, no, I don't think there is.
No, there is actually. They announced that there's going to be a new movie.
Oh. Is it the Mark Hamill one?
Really?
Are they
No.
Continuing that? No.
No, Don Mancini it's involved with it. It's like a true yeah. It's following because this TV series got canceled, so it's following up
The
after.
TV series was
believe.
fantastic. I really was enjoying
good.
that. Yeah, I feel like it was the perfect
Yeah.
mix of camp and horror. Like it definitely gave you a good blend. So if that's coming out, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Perfect. Well, that wraps up this episode of Opening Kill. JC, thank you for coming
Thank
back
you
to the
so much.
podcast and sitting in with us.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
of
you.
Of course,
anytime.
anytime. I'm always here for you.
Perfect.
Favorite podcast.
So
That's right.
we appreciate that. And your check's in the mail. Thank you.
Oh, I'll be waiting for it.
Don't wait too long.
Yeah, right.
Don't wait too long. So, Michael, coming up next week, we have a very special episode. There is a new indie film coming out, and we're not going to tell you what it is right now. We want you to tune into us next week because we have the film's director that will be sitting in with us, along with two of the stars of the film that will be joining him on next week's episode of Opening Kill. It is going to be an absolute riot.
Hell yeah. I'm very excited about this one.
Yeah, me too. So if you haven't already, subscribe to us, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and tell all your friends about us too.
Yeah, share us with your horror lover in your life. Check us out on YouTube. We have our video version on there, of course, and the audio as well. Subscribe anywhere you get podcasts, and shoot us an email if you want to recommend a movie for next season, or if you just have a comment or concern, hit us up, openingkillpod@gmail.com.
And if you want to find out a little bit more about Michael and I, and eventually you can go here to take in those episodes as well, go to mysticcloudfilm.com/opening-kill and find out more about the Opening Kill podcast.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, again, join us next week for a very special episode of Opening Kill. Thank you for hanging with us, and we will talk to you then.
Yep.
Opening Kill is produced by Mystic Cloud Productions and hosted by Brian O'Connor and Michael Duran. New episodes drop every Thursday wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And don't forget, you can watch the video versions on YouTube. See you next time, if you survive the opening kill.